It is truly hard to fathom, but we are coming up this fall on the 15th anniversary of the publication of the Challenger sale. In fact, 17 years since we first completed the research that serves at the center of that book. And in that time, of course, the book and the body of work has taken on a life of its own in the B2B sales and marketing profession. And it's hard now not to engage in some sort of organization where a large number of people have expressed excitement because they've engaged in Challenger at some point in their career. It is it's humbling. It's deeply humbling. But I think one of the reasons why it's so humbling and also still to this day so exciting is because at the heart and soul of the Challenger sale is this really powerful message that it's not just what you sell, but how you sell that truly sets you apart in in B2B commerce, in the world of sales, or in the eyes of your customer. And particularly when you're delivering that message on a stage and a sales kickoff in front of hundreds, if not thousands of people, it's such this incredible moment because you get to look out on them and say, every one of you in this room as an individual and collectively as a team, you are the source, the key source, the biggest source of differentiation and so, therefore really value for your company. You are the ones that make your company stand out more so than your product, your brand, your features. It's you as individuals and how you choose to show up every single day. And that's not only empowering, it's hopefully for many kind of exciting. And that is still true today. I think the single biggest opportunity for differentiation for most suppliers today is still not what they sell, but how they sell. It's interesting, though, is now that we're 15 years on and just about everybody at some point in their career, at least of a certain age, which is most of us, has encountered Challenger in some fashion or another and has probably, aspired to deliver commercial insight in some fashion. Back all those many, many years ago, someone asked me, Brent, what happens when we're all challengers? What happens then? And I said, I think we're a long way off from that. I don't know what happened. We got a long way off from that. Because here we are. And I'm not suggesting that everyone's delivering Challenger perfectly, but it does beg a question, which is, how do I stand out today? How do I go to market? If it's not what I sell, but how do I sell today? That in today's market is equally as differentiated today as Challenger was all those many years ago. And that's why I think it's time to begin to explore, what's new in the world of customer engagement. How can I show up? How can I engage customers in such a way that is truly not only differentiated from other sellers, but also truly more likely to lead to a high quality, low regret purchase? And that is really what the story at the heart and soul of the Framemaking sale. It is essentially the same story, just written for today's context, which is the opportunity is the same to show up differently, to engage customers differently in a powerful way that sets you apart today, not only sets you apart from other sellers, but equally sets you apart from AI and all the other ways that the tools that customers have available to them to learn on their own. And really, that's all about showing up in a way that is specifically designed to help customers feel more confident, not so much in you, but in their own ability to make these large-scale purchase decisions on behalf of their organization, to make the right choices, to ask the right questions, to navigate their own process when they themselves may not know. Heck, the last time they made a purchase, they thought that this was awful. I never want to do that again. And we know because we've asked thousands and thousands of buyers, and that's literally what they say is every time I go on one of these purchase journeys or decision journeys in my organization, I hope it's the last time because frankly, I never want to do that again. And if you want to show up differently and frankly more valuable in the eyes of your customer today, the way you show up today is from this posture of I'm here to help. Let me see if I can help make this easier for you, not by just telling you about my product, but by providing social proof from other companies like you and the lessons they've learned of, landmines to avoid, steps to proactively take such that your life can become easier. And that's really, step by step by step through the Framemaking sale, we take you on this journey through the challenges that customers face inside their own organization. It's this really deep moment of empathy to really take your selling hat off and put a buying hat on and feel like what it feels like to buy today. And it doesn't feel great. But what if you are the one seller, the one sales professional, the one supplier that showed up in such a way that was there to help and not just deliver another insight or not just provide more information or not just talk about your features and benefits, but really to legitimately help make that decision easier, help them feel better about what they're doing. And if you ask, how would I do that? What would that sound like? What would that look like? That's what this whole video series is all about. That's what the book's about. That's what the workshops are about, is to take that idea and break it down and build it back up around a set of very practical tactics, all built around this idea of frame making. How can I take something that's big and hard and overwhelming like buying and just put a boundary around it, make it feel more manageable, put a frame around it, and then take my customer by the hand, figuratively, not literally, because that would be weird, and guide them, be their essentially their decision coach. And that's why at the end of the day, we think of this not as a methodology, but a mindset. Why? How are you showing up today? What is your role? What is your posture? And we think the best way to think about that today is just, I'm here to help my customers make the best decision they can in as little time as possible. And if that decision isn't for me, that's why the little time as possible is so important. If we're going to lose, let's lose early. But let's show up and do that in the right way, such that even when that decision doesn't fall in our favor, we'll be the first person, the first team that our customers call or our prospects call the next time it comes time to make a decision as well, because we're the only ones that show up in a way that feels helpful. And that's how you win today in today's B2B context, through not what you sell, but how you sell.